Hi, I'm Stephanie from Phyx Physio, and we're going to do a Pilates class that you can do at home. Now, if you're new to Pilates, do take it easy and just have a read of the comments to make sure you're keeping yourself safe. And if you've been coming to class with us for quite a while, you'll recognise a lot of these exercises, and it's going to be a fairly gentle class for this first one. Alright, so we're going to be on the mat rather than in standing, just because I can't work out the camera just yet. So today's just going to be completely on the floor. So let's start with a warm up in sitting. Now you can sit either how I was then, or with your legs crossed, or with your legs out in front. You can't see my feet, but my toes are flexed, so my toes are up towards my nose. This is the most difficult position. I've got a little gap between my legs as well. And we're going to start with our hands across our chest. So sitting up nice and tall, and especially if you're in this position, you'll feel your lower tummy switched on to sit yourself up straight. Nice wide collarbones, relax the shoulders down from your ears. Let's take a breath in, and then as we breathe out, we'll just rotate our body all the way around. And then breathe in back to the middle, grow nice and tall. Breathe out, rotating the other way. And breathe into the middle, grow tall, breathe out. And breathe in. It's very slow and controlled. I'm using my lower abdominals to really twist around. Let's keep going. Just change the position of the arms into genie position. So elbows 90 degrees, drawing the shoulder blades down, the neck nice and long. Inhale through the nose, grow tall. Exhale through the mouth or the nose. Inhale back to the middle. Last one. Grow a little bit taller. And the arms are going to go out to the side, stretching through the fingers. Imagine you've got a broomstick behind your shoulders. Breathe in and breathe out to twist. Breathe into the middle. Breathe out and twist. We don't want this to be happening with our arms. Breathe into the middle. I'm blocked by the wall, so you can probably go a bit further. Last one. And we're going to change the position of our arms. Breathe in and breathe out, rotate. Inhale to the middle. Just see if you can sit up a little bit more. As you get tired, you'll start to slouch. Okay, last one. And taking the arms in front. Imagine you have a big therapy ball here in front of you, which is one of those big bouncy balls you sit on. Breathing in, and as we breathe out, reaching forward. And inhale to sit up tall. So imagining rolling the ball forward, tucking in our chin, and then we're rolling the ball back. The difference is we don't let the hands sink, so we're keeping the hands nice and high. Let's go for 3. Exhale to reach forward, drawing in the belly, and inhale to grow tall. And exhale, tucking the chin around your spine. And then as you grow tall, we're sitting up back nice and straight. By the way, I'm not sitting against the wall. There is a gap behind me. Good. And this time we will let the hands sink. So my hands are over my toes. And then when we sit up tall, just slide the hands along the legs. And breathe out to reach forward, round through the spine, tucking the chin. You'll feel a stretch down the back of your legs for this one. Exhale, try and get your nose between your legs. Remember the toes are up towards your face. Obviously, if you were in cross-legged or sitting in one of the other positions, the legs should be out. Should have said that, sorry. Good. Okay, coming back up. From here, let's come down onto our back. So we're just going to have a lay down. Now, I can't see myself in the screen anymore, so I hope I'm there. Let's start with some bridging. So we'll have our feet, knees, hips and shoulders about shoulder width apart. Arms light by your side. If you like, you can pop a little towel underneath your head, just a very small one, but it's up to you. Now with bridging, imagine your spine as a string of pearls, and we're going to peel our spine up, or that string of pearls, one at a time, up until about the shoulder blades. And then we'll lower back down. So let's add in the breathing for the next one. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, peeling your spine up. Lift your tail, your lower back, your middle back. and then the upper back. Breathe in and hold, and breathing out to lower back down. Press the upper back in first, then the middle back, then the lower back, and then the tail. Inhale and exhale, peeling up. Inhale and hold, and exhale to lower down. Just keep going with this. Try and make sure you're pressing your big toe, your little toes, and your heel all flat into the mat. The arms are nice and light, so we're not digging them in. And it's not about lifting as high as you possibly can. You don't want to overextend. So if you have a look on this next one, that's too high. My back is now arched. We want to just have our back straight and in line with our thighs. If you're not sure, you should be able to easily turn your head side to side or pick your head up. If you're too high, you can't really get your head off of the floor. So there's a little guide for you. Let's just go for 2 more. Breathe in and breathing out, peel up, squeezing the bottom nice and tight. Breathe in and hold. Breathing out, lower down. Next one, we hold it. Breathe in, breathing out, peel up. Let's hold it. So squeezing through the bottom. You shouldn't have any back pain. If it's starting to ache a little bit, just drop your hips. If it's still aching, you need to rest. So never push through pain. So we'll come back up. We're going to do some stuff with our feet. Breathe in. As you breathe out, pick up your heels. So just the toes are on the floor of one foot. Inhale, drop the heel. Exhale, pick up the other heel. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale, first heel. Inhale, down. Second heel. And down. And we should be feeling this through the back of our legs and our glutes again. Sometimes you feel like you're sliding a little bit. Tuck your feet in. You get a bit more range with the feet closer to your bottom. Let's pick up the pace. As one heel is going up, the other one's going down. So one heel up, one heel down. We don't want the hips to drop by accident. So making sure they're staying high. We don't want to dig the elbows in. If you want to pop them across your chest, or sometimes some of you, I know you pop them up to the ceiling. Okay, let's go both heels up, both heels down. Both heels up, both heels down. Exhale, lift, inhale, tap. Exhale, lift, inhale, tap. Try and raise all the way up onto those toes. And if someone was looking at your ankles, they're staying straight. They're not bowing out to the side. Let's go for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And then we'll relax down. Okay, just hug those knees in for a second. Draw little circles on the mat with your tailbone. Now you shouldn't be any pain, just the muscle fatigue. Let's circle the other way. We'll do a little bit more bridging, we'll just make it a little bit harder. If that was hard enough, you continue on, just do the hill lifts. If you want to make it a little more challenging, let's go into marching. So let's take a breath in, and as we breathe out, peel our spine back up. Make sure you're squeezing your bottom. Inhale. As you exhale, float one knee up. Inhale, float it down. Exhale, float the second knee. Inhale, float it down. Making sure the hips are staying level, so we don't want to see that. Really pushing down through the supporting heel. Let's go for 2. And 1 more each side. And we'll lower our spine down. Take a quick stretch, raise one leg up to the ceiling, support behind the knee. Just leave your foot relaxed. This is a hamstring stretch, so we should feel this one here. Okay, let's take it into neural stretch. Flex the foot toes towards your nose, and then point to relax. Flex, and point. Flex, and point. 1 more. And point. Pop that leg down, other leg up, relax the foot, just pull that leg in towards you gently. And flex, and point. So when we flex, we should feel this one go a little bit lower into the leg. This is now stretching the nerve that runs down the back of our leg. I've lost count, but I think that's 4. So let's pop that leg down. Now we're going to go into leg stretch. I've had a baby not long ago, so I'm not actually going to be pushing this one too hard. If you've been coming to class, you'll know what to do. We're going to keep it fairly easy because I can't actually do anything too hard at the moment. So we're going to do level 2s, and I'll explain how to do level 3, so if you want to do that, you can. So let's go leg stretch. Float one leg up to the ceiling, arms nice and light on the floor. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lengthen that leg, lock the knee nice and tight, and then inhale, return the knee back. Exhale to lengthen, and inhale to return. Just while you're getting started, make sure that you're drawing your tummy flat. So as you lengthen your leg, you don't want to see your tummy doming up to the ceiling because your back is arching. So keep your tummy flat and your back nice and still. The lower you take the leg, the harder it will be. And let's go for the other leg. So just float your leg up. Breathe in as you breathe out, lengthen. And breathe in, return the knee. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in, return. The key is to really lock the knee nice and tight and have the toes pointed. No sloppy feet. They must be pointed. If you're a cramper, you can have them flexed. And think about pushing through the heel. Now, if you want to make it harder, you have both legs up. And I'll just quickly demo. It will look like that. I don't have the strength to do that, but you'll just go one leg and then the other leg. We're going to go back to that first leg. So if you're like me and you want to take it a bit easier, raise up your left leg, pop both arms to the ceiling. Let's breathe in, and then as we breathe out, lengthen the leg, and both arms can go overhead, and then breathe in, return. And we'll breathe out to lengthen, and breathe in, return. Now focus on your lower back. It shouldn't be arching, especially as we get into this position. So if you imagine you have a little grape in the small of your back, you don't want to squash it, you don't want to let it roll away. If you have little 1 kilo weights or 1.5 kilos like we do when you're with us, you can pop them in your hands. I didn't bring any with me, but you can just add them for difficulty. Okay, let's go the second leg. Pop that leg down, breathe in, float the right leg up, breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in, return. Making sure that the spine is staying in neutral. We've got a little grape in the small of the back. Don't squash it, don't let it roll away. Focus on that knee tightening, the toes pointed. And we'll go for 3. And 2. And 1. All right, pop that leg down. From here, we're going into hip circles. So we're not actually doing much tummy work in this program because I can't demo it for you. So we're going into hip circles, which works your tummy a bit, but you'll feel this one in the front of your hip. Let's float that left leg back up. Imagine you have a pencil on your kneecap. We're going to draw small circles on the roof with our kneecap. Let's inhale, and as we, actually don't worry about your breathing, I don't want to confuse you. Let's just work on this leg. Take that leg out and down, so it's circling away from you, and then bring it in and towards you. So circle your knee out and away, and then in and towards you. Start really small, because you want to keep your pelvis nice and steady. If your circles are too big, I don't know if you can see because, well, I don't know, but your hips will rock. So you want the hips to stay still and just the leg moves on its own. And then when you get the hang of that, then you push how big that circle is. The other leg, so I'm moving my left leg. My right leg shouldn't be swaying in the breeze. It should be nice and still. And already I can feel my quad working, or here. Although mind you, I'm not very fit, so see, let's go back the other way. Circle that leg opposite direction. Start small, make sure it's really controlled well. It's a perfect circle that you're drawing on the roof. And then you can make the circle bigger. The whole leg is moving. It's not, I don't even know how people do it, but sometimes you'll see this type of thing. It's the whole leg, so the thigh is moving. Okay, it should be getting sore. Let's straighten our leg. Point those toes. We've got a pencil on our big toe now. Let's circle the first direction. The leg is obviously a longer lever now. It should be quite heavy. Let's go for 4 and 3, 2 1, don't rest, other way, let's go for 6. Your tummy should be working much harder now. Try not to let your hips drop over to that side. And we probably have 2 or 3 left. Keep stretching through those toes. And your last one. And you can let it rest for a bit. So hopefully through here, and you're feeling a little bit of work through the tummy. All right, let's slide that leg up. Go for the right leg. Before we do, just relax the shoulders down. Sometimes as you get tired, the shoulders go like this. Just drop them down from the ears, arms light. Float the right kneecap up. We've got a pencil on the kneecap. Let's draw little circles on the roof. Don't worry about which way you're circling because we'll swap. If you imagine your thigh as a wooden spoon and your hip as a bowl and the spoon's going all the way around the outside of that bowl, that will really help you to get the whole leg moving rather than just the foot. Think about the left knee. If you imagine you're balancing a glass of water on this left knee, that can help to keep it still. If you're doing this program a couple times and you want to make it harder, so you've watched it before, you think, oh, I'll do it again, you can, well, I really don't have any strength, pull this leg up and do this. Okay, let's circle the other way. And we'll go for about 6 more. Just breathe normally. When we breathe in Pilates, it must be in through the nose and then it can be out through the mouth or the nose. Doesn't matter. Make sure you're breathing in through your nose. All right, let's straighten this right leg. Lock the knee nice and tight and off you go and circle. We'll go 6 each direction. So just count on your own. Think about the arms light, the shoulders down, your hips staying nice and still. You can see I put my arms here so I can actually feel what my hips are doing. Let's circle the other way. Keep stretching through those toes. Try not to let the knee bend, especially as you get tired. We're going to go for 3 and 2 and 1. Just give that leg a little rest. Okay, from here, let's roll onto our side. So just turn over to face me. And we're going, can you see? Yes. We're going into clams. So this is actually the first Pilates class I've done since I've had knees. So if I'm a bit wobbly, forgive me. But we're going to pop hand on our hip. Under here, there should be a little gap. So think about lifting your waist up. If you're a bit lazy, you'll just let the waist drop and it presses into the mat. I want you to pull that waist up. So if you were in class, I could slide my fingers underneath here. Even if it's only the tiniest little gap, I should be able to get them underneath those ribs. Let's take a breath in, gently draw the tummy in, and as we breathe out, raise the top knee. And as we breathe in, we lower it. So breathe out, pull the knee all the way up. Breathe in to lower it. If you imagine you're leaning up against the wall, there's a gap behind me, I'm not up against the wall. But imagine you're up against that wall and that's stopping your hips from rolling forwards and backwards. So we don't want to be doing this. We want to stay nice and controlled. Let's keep going, just pick the feet up. So we should be able to lift that knee a little bit higher now. Double check you've got that gap underneath your waist. Okay, if you can, exhale when you lift the knee. Inhale when you lower. Keeping the heels squeezed together. Okay, let's go for 3. I'm about to swallow a fly, I reckon. And 2. And 1. And lower those legs down. If you've got a TheraBand at home, you can pop that around your knees if you're doing it again to make it harder. Let's go level 3. So straighten out this bottom leg. Really stretch through the knee and the toes. We don't want it sloppy, we want it nice and tight. And then the top leg, tuck your toes behind the knee and lower the knee down. Now, if you can't quite get your knee on the floor, some people might be like that. That's okay. You really need to use your tummy now. Let's breathe in. And as we breathe out, open the knee up
That's harder than it used to be. Inhale and lower it. You can pop your hands on the mat if you need. Hopefully you've got enough strength that you can do it with your hand on your hip. As you get stronger, we want to aim for that hand on the hip. Again, making sure that you're not rolling back. So you've got that wall behind you, keeping your back upright. The imaginary wall, sorry, don't actually lean up against it. Let's go for 3 more. Really push that knee all the way up. All the work happens, or a lot of it happens that last little bit. So try not to get lazy now for these last 2. Push it that last little bit. And last one. And we'll have a little rest, give it a rub. We should be feeling it here. Okay, let's straighten out both of our legs. Yeah, I'm good. Just the top leg will be moving to start with, and then we'll get the bottom leg moving as well later on. But before you do, can you really stretch down through your top leg? So the big toe of the top leg is touching the big toe of the bottom leg. You probably can't see, but sometimes when we're laying down, if we're a bit lazy, the top leg just comes back a bit. So I want you to pull down through that top side so the legs are nice and even. Locking both knees straight, toes pointed. Unless you're a cramper, you can flex. Okay, hand on the hip. Let's breathe in. As we breathe out, raise the top leg up. Breathe in, flex the foot, lower it down. Breathe out, point and raise. Breathe in, flex and lower. Breathe out, point and raise. Breathe in, flex and lower. We want to feel it here. If you've got the wobbles, you can pop, say, hand on the mat. As you get better, just a few fingers, 1 finger, until the hand can go on the hip. So yes, we're working this hip, but the whole body is working to keep us balanced. And that's the great thing about Pilates. Every exercise should be the whole body working, and you're really aware of what everything is doing. Now, tighten up that bottom leg. I want you to make it so tight that we can now hover it off the floor, just a couple centimetres. That will make it obviously harder for our bottom leg, but also harder for this part of us because we're having to balance. If you're a little bit wobbly, hand on the mat. Let's breathe in on the way down, breathe out as we lift, breathe in on the way down. Last 4, imagine someone's pulling you by your toes of your top leg and your bottom leg, so strong through those legs. And I've lost count, but let's go 1, lower the legs down. Keep those toes pointed, keep stretching down through that top side. Create that little gap underneath your waist, so just reset your posture. Let's go into toe tap. So last exercise on this side. We'll take a quick breath in, lift the leg just a little bit, and then a slow breath out, tap your toes in front. And then a quick breath in, lift, and a slow breath out, tap behind. So quick breath in, slow breath out, tap. Breathe in, breathe out, tap. The key is to keep your legs straight. Not so hard on the way forward, but can be a bit tricky on the way back, especially if you're stiff in your lower back. And we don't want to be crashing our toe into the floor. Just a really light tap as if you're tapping on eggshells. So quick inhale, slow exhale. Same thing, you can put your hand on the mat if you've got the wobbles. In a second, we're going to try and hover that bottom leg. So really lock it tight, get ready. And then if you can, lift that bottom leg up. Oh gosh, I've got the shakes. Lost a lot of fitness during that pregnancy. That's okay. Alright, let's go for 4 rounds. So 1 round is forward and backward. And 2 rounds. And last one, when you finish tapping behind, that's enough. Have a little breather. Okay, let's bend the legs up. We're going to do a real quick stretch before we do the other side. Now, if you've got a wall behind you, you need to scoot forward. Obviously, I can't because then you won't be able to see me. So we're going to have either both legs bent, or if you want more of a stretch, you don't get any back troubles, keep the top leg bent and bottom leg straight. Take a big breath in, and then as you breathe out, bow and arrow your top arm back. So the wall's in the way, but you should be able to go all the way back so you're twisting. And then breathe in and return to the front. Breathe out, stretching all the way back. Look to that hand if you can. Breathe in, return to the front. And last one, breathe out. This knee should be staying on the floor. Breathe in to return. Okay, let's swing around. So just push yourself up. Legs can go around the other end. I just have to check that you can still see me. What are we doing? Clams. Sorry, I went to screensaver, so I couldn't see if I was in a good position. So let's go clams level 1. Hand on your hip. Remember, we pick our waist up off the floor. So if you just grab your hand, slide your fingers under here. There should be a little gap. Heels together. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, raise that top knee up. And as you breathe in, lower it. Breathe out to lift. And breathe in to lower. Imagine you have a wall behind you, keeping your back straight so you don't get that tip when you're at the top. So if you are tipping your hip back, you're going too far. You need to turn your tummy on to support yourself. Keep yourself still. And just the leg moves. Remember, if you have a TheraBand, you can tie your knees together to make it harder. Let's keep going. Level 2, pick those feet up. Making sure that you didn't lose that gap under your waist as you picked your feet up. Let's go for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Alright, give that leg a little breather. And we're going to go into level 3. Straighten out the bottom leg. Really lock your knee tight, point your toes, and then tuck the toes behind the knee of your top leg. And then the knee goes down. If it's floating, remember it's okay. Now, I think I'm going to need my hand, but if you can, hand goes on the hip, that'd be even better. Really draw that tummy in. Let's breathe in. As we breathe out, open the knee all the way up. Breathe in to lower it. Breathe out and lift all the way. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out and breathe in. I want you to work the whole body. So lock the arm, tighten the tummy, lock the bottom leg, and then the top leg obviously is moving. Okay, remember that last little bit is where the work happens. Try not to get lazy. We're going to go for 4. Push that knee all the way up. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. Okay. Just give that leg a rest for a second. Now we've got toe taps. No, we've got single leg rests. Okay, so both legs locked straight. We want our legs to be in line with our body. A little trick is if you just flex your feet, your toes should be up towards your nose. You can just see your toes, and then when you point them, you can't see them anymore. It depends obviously how big, if you're pregnant and you happen to be doing this part of the exercise, obviously you can't lay on your back. But if you've got your pregnant belly in the way, that's not going to count, but it's a general guide. Remember, stretch down through that top leg, so the big toe of the top leg's touching the big toe of the bottom leg. And let's go hand on our hip. We still have our gap under here. Let's breathe in. As we breathe out, raise the top leg up, toes pointed, then inhale, flex, lower your leg. Exhale, point and raise, and inhale, flex and lower. Exhale, and inhale. I want you to really stretch through your toes on the way up and then stretch through your heel on the way down. We'll tighten up that bottom leg. Remember, we're going to hover it soon. So we'll just go a couple more and make that bottom leg lighter and lighter until we can hover it. Now, if this is the first time you're doing this, you might not be able to hover it without the hand on the floor, or you might not be able to hover it at all. That's okay. Let's go for 4. Breathing out. Breathe in and lower. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in and lower. And 2. And 1. And relax. While we're resting, I'll just quickly go through. You can see my leg only goes to here. It's not that I'm being lazy. It's that if we go all the way up here, I'm actually twisting my hips. And I'm not really working the correct muscles. So you want your hips to be still, and then you'll get blocked about there. So I think the old Jane Fonda videos, I used to go all the way up. Oh, you can see that I completely rolled back. That's very ineffective or inefficient for what we're trying to do in Pilates. So try not to let the leg go all the way. All right, toe tap, stretch down through that top leg. Quick breath in, lift the top leg, slow breath out, tap your toes. Quick breath in, lift, slow breath out, tap behind. Quick breath in, slow breath out, tap. Remember, we're not crushing our toe into the floor. It's a really light and controlled tap. And if you think about when you're tapping, you're trying to stretch your leg away from you. So just reach the toe further and further away from you, reaching for a point on the floor. The bottom leg, tighten it up. Tighten the tummy. In a second, we're going to hover it. If you need to pop your hand on the mat, go for it. When you're ready, hover that bottom leg and off we go. Quick breath in, lift, slow breath out, tap. And 4 more rounds. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. And let those legs go. Bend either both knees up or just the top knee. Arms out in front. Let's go chest thoracic stretch. Big breath in. And as we breathe out, bow and arrow the arm all the way back. And breathe in, return to the front. Breathing out, stretching all the way. If you can, look to your back hand. Breathing in and return. And last one, breathe out, stretch all the way. And breathe in and return. Okay, right, we'll finish with a little bit of stretching. Now, if you're really tight in your hips, you're going to struggle with this. But it's okay. There are a few other options. So, I look dishevelled, sorry, it's quite hot in here now. So, ideally, we've got our hips straight and one leg in front and one leg behind. It's easy if you just mirror me, because then it's just easy for me to teach, or for you to copy in this case. If you can't sit like this, for whatever reason, you can pop your legs out straight. It's not as effective, but you don't want to hurt yourself, so just listen to your body. If you're a bit off like this, because you're really stiff on this hip, you'd be surprised, as long as it's not painful and you're just tired, you can't actually do it because of tightness. Over time, it does improve. Well, you have to do it a lot and really regularly, but it can improve. So if it's just tight, you can push through it. If it's actually painful, pop those legs out in front. Okay, nice wide collarbones. Let's grow nice and tall. Take a breath in, arms up, and then as you breathe out, drop down onto your elbow. Stretch those top fingers. I don't know if this is going to be your left or your right hand, which is why I'm not saying it. It's my right hand. Anyway, stretch your fingers towards the wall. This hip, push it down towards the mat, and I'm feeling a stretch all the way down here. And now I'll come back to the middle, take a big breath in, and then breathe out. Hands down on this side, and these fingers, they're my left ones, they're going to the corner between the roof and the wall. This shoulder down, grow it really tall, so now I feel it here. Breathe in, and breathe out. Drop down onto the elbow, push your fingers to the wall, this hip down away from you. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale, over and up. We're not collapsing or covering our face. Nice wide shoulder. And breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. We'll go 5 to each side. I can hear baby Eve crying. So we'll finish with this one. Don't worry, hubby's home, so if there was anything, he would get her. Not that mean. Alright, let's change those legs over. Okay, if you've got pain in the hip or the knee, can you please put your legs in front? Even if one side is alright, but now this side hurts, don't push it. You should never push through pain. Nice wide shoulders, collarbones. Breathe in and breathe out. Drop down onto the elbow, fingers across to the mirrors. This hip, now my left hip, push it down. Now I'm digging my elbow in.
And back to the middle, grow tall. Breathe out, lengthen over and up. Breathe in. Breathing out, push the elbow into the floor. Inhale. This side, the fingers go to the corner between the roof and the wall. Inhale. This side, the fingers go straight across. Inhale. And we'll make this our last one. Alright, well done everyone. Thank you for joining me. If you want more videos like this, let me know. I obviously want to do more Pilates myself, so I'll be doing it at home. If you want me to record what I do, I'm more than happy to.